Okay, we are working on a Transit here, and the license plate light won't light up. Well, it's because the housing and stuff is all corroded and nasty. Everything is broken and falling apart. I just wanted to show you guys something here. There's a test that we can do that you can look at, and I want to show you guys. Just because voltage is present doesn't mean you've got a good circuit. And I was burned by that years ago in Ford training. They put me on a Crown Vic at one of the Ford training centers, and they said go. When I was in Ford Accelerated Credential Training Program, and I was having a hard time, and it was such a rookie mistake, and I failed that single test station. And the reason for that is they sent me to the third eye brake light, said figure out why it won't work. Tested the bulb, everything was fine. Tested power, it was fine. Tested ground, it was fine. Everything was fine. I'm like, man, I don't know. The bulb's got to be bad. Something's got to be bad with the bulb. Everything else, the wires and everything else are good. And they were like, oh, really? Is that your final answer? And I said, yeah, it's my final answer. I said, you failed, and here's why. Just because you have voltage doesn't mean you have current. And in order to have current, you need a good solid wire strand. What if 5 of those 6 strands inside that assembly are cut, but only 1 strand is connected or barely touching? You'll show voltage, but you won't be able to carry a load. Little demonstration test on this here. So this wire right here is the power wire. Go ahead, touch it. Touch the power wire with the probe to show that there's 13. You got 13 volts. But you notice it's got 13 volts. The machine ain't beep like it's got a good connection, right? Now let's see what happens. Touch this to this. This is a test light, a noise light. Go ahead and hook the ground up to the other side so we can show them we got a good bulb. So now I got it. See how my ground is going through this here, and I'm touching it. Here, hold this. Hold everything. Apply power. Apply power. See how the light lights up? I've got a good circuit through the light, back out. I'm applying power. It's a good ground path. Use that same ground. Now let's go back over to this ground that was on the vehicle. See? Still hooked up to the ground. And it's running through the light just like it was on the power probe. Now test it. Touch the thing to it. Take it off the ground. Test the wire. Says it has 13 volts, but it ain't carrying no current. Just because you have voltage doesn't mean you have current. And we'll follow that back. That goes from there up into this here, and then you pop this out of here, and this one goes right up there into the connector. So I gotta figure out this. Show you guys what we found back here behind this plastic panel. We just popped it off. It was real hard to pop off, and pin fitment inside this connector right here sits up inside this box on this Transit Connect. There you go. Now it's lighting up. Problem fixed. Clean it up, close it up, put it back together. So essentially this Transit had a pin fitment problem at the BCM and back there. At the BCM, if I was to show you what it looks like. The lower left corner of the BCM behind the very lower left corner, no, upper left, where the connector for the lights was the upper left, right? It's the upper left connector behind the glove box. Pin 21 is the power supply to the lights in the rear, which includes the cargo or the license plate light. There was a pin fitment issue there, and there was a pin fitment issue at the back by the cargo area. And honestly, one of one of the biggest issues that technicians forget or they don't check is pin fitment issues. And both my guys were on it for hours. And I come up here 20 minutes, start tearing everything apart, check pin fitment, hook the connectors and stuff back together, light starts working. And he says, what the hell, man, that's not right, it's not fair. And I said, well, work at the dealer for a while, you get a lot of formal training and stuff, and you'll figure out pin fitment is a huge problem. This one as well, right behind the dash, you had to pull the dash down, and the lady was complaining about no heat, no blower motor, no nothing. Pull the dash down and start checking the wiring harness for the blower motor in this Mercedes. Terminal fretting, pin fitment. Started melting the connector and stuff like that, and I'm causing issues with the blower motor. Fixed all that, all of a sudden everything's working now.